Are we here? We should be here.
Never cuts the music. There we go. Or it never like ends on the screen. All right, welcome everyone. This is totally winging it, which I don't do, and Leslie doesn't do. But Fred does wing it. So we have a great idea after the training event that we just had today. And if you haven't seen it, there is a playlist. We'll put it in the chat that you can go back and rewatch all of those links. I just have to find it. So, okay, Leslie's got that. Because again, we are winging this. So nothing is planned out. So none of the links for the tabs are open. So it's going to take us some seconds to get all these links to you. But you think, see, it did it again, Fred.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here, but I think that makes the point. So you think you can?
Yeah, well, so you think you can train. So we're going to do a session for Google trainers that want to be trainers, and you're working on your application. And a couple of things that we realized tonight is a lot of you are working on your training, but you're a little nervous to present. And that's totally okay. I was like that when I first became a Google trainer. What about you, Fred?
No, I've always had a really high, I think really highly of myself. So I never really had a problem. I should have, because I'm not great at it. And this winging it, I had to reverse engineer because I was winging it all the time. But I learned from people like you, Stephanie and Leslie, that you should plan. So I think we're a good combination of all the things together, because I am the I can do this. I can't, but I assume I can, and I just dive in head first. So that's why I joined you when you said, hey, we're going to do a thing.
Yeah, you're the only one that joined us. Plus Jenna and Mel in the chat.
Yeah.
And I think we have someone from Oklahoma, Dustin. So
yay.
Yeah. And there's 10 other people watching that haven't even said hello to us. Leslie, what about you? Were you nervous to present, or were you ready to go?
Oh, no, never ready to go. I have to plan, and in my diary, I have to plan the planner. And then I have to do it in bits. And then I have to draft and redraft. I'm that girl.
Yeah. So we totally get it. We were all there. And again, that trainer community, one of the best perks is that you become really familiar and comfortable with presenting. Again, I was not there 4 years ago. And so having that community that supports you and able to do that allows you to present on a bigger scale with global DEG, where you're having over, 200 to 500 views on one video. And you're growing your PLN like crazy when you get to that point and when you're confident and ready to do that. However, we know that's not for everyone right at the start. It was for Fred, but not me and Leslie. And we get that. So right here, we have a challenge for you. I put the links to the slide deck in the chat, and Leslie found that playlist. This is the playlist that we just finished up tonight. It goes over all of the resources that we did today.
Yeah, so we broke into a couple of different rooms and there were trainings in every room. So if people wanted to learn more about how do they put their video together, they went into the video training room. How do I put my case study together? How do I sort my events? And if you were a new trainer, you came into the new training room. So we found that really helpful to connect with people who needed that support.
Yeah, so right here are all the videos and you can watch them if you would like to. Or maybe you were only able to come to the video room and you wanted to see the events that Becky did. You're able to just watch that video. We made a playlist for you and you can go back and rewatch, or you can just take the challenge, whatever is your style. Back to what we're going to do. Okay, so here's the challenge. On March 13th. March 13th. Yep. At 8 Eastern, because that's the only time zone I work in. You are going to have a challenge. You're going to prepare a 10-minute presentation. That's right, 10 minutes. And during this 10-minute presentation, you're going to present on a Google tool. That Google tool can be anywhere from Google Slides, Sheets, Forms, anything. Okay, it doesn't matter. Jamboard?
Except Jamboard, right? Like
No, that's an option. You
Jamboard's fine.
Jamboard. Also, real quick, I know this is a side note. Don't you love Luisa's house that me and Fred are in? We love
didn't
you.
invite me. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's such a drive for you. So we thought.
Yeah. So again, 10 minutes. That's it. You can't go over it and you can't go under it. 10 minutes. The next thing you're going to do is provide a feedback form, because after your 10 minutes, you're going to get feedback from people in the community that are watching your presentation. And in these groups, you'll have at least 5. So for the case study, you have to have 5 people attend your session. So you will have at least 5 people watching, but then you could have up to maybe 10 or so giving you feedback. So it's going to be a pretty small group and a comfortable group, no judgment, and you're allowed to fail. It's totally okay.
Always failing forward. That's what the whole idea is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so if the link doesn't work, that's okay.
We'll tell you.
Yeah, we're going to fix it live if it doesn't work, and we're going to work with you, and you're going to be able to do that. Here are 2 copies of Google Forms if you want to look at them for your feedback. So you're able to click it, and then it will force you to make a copy. And then you're able to click make a copy, and then you can customize the form to fit your training needs. So I did this one for a Clue PD, and then you can add your own questions, take away, but don't forget you need data both in numbers and in words. So you need both types of data. All right, so once you have your presentation ready and your feedback form, you are going to present live on March 13th. I keep thinking I'm going to get that date wrong, but I don't think I did.
That's right.
So on March 13th, there is a Google form here, and you can just click it, and I will also put this in the chat. And you have to fill out this Google form if you're going to present on March 13th. If you're not going to present, don't fill out the form, okay? And make sure you have all parts ready for the Google form. So we're going to walk through this Google form real quick together. You're going to need your email address, your name, and the name of your 10-minute session. Once you have that, you're going to pick your Google product. So it could be Slide, Sheet, Documents, Jamboard, Form, Sites, Drive, Chrome, Draw, Classroom, or other. Okay.
Like blog.
Yeah, like Google Blog or Google Arts and Culture or whatever.
Scholar.
Yeah. Once you have that, you're going to click the next button. Oh, it does need my email. Okay. Next. And then you're going to answer the first part of the case study questions for the application. Okay. So you're going to describe the training. You're going to talk about how you're going to demonstrate the tool. And again, these are not just busy work. This is actual questions that will help you on the case study. It's not busy work. And then right here, how will you show attendees effective and efficient ways to integrate this tool into the classroom? Again, all of these questions are on the application. And so once you fill these out, you're going to get a copy of this through Autocrat. And then you can edit the verbiage because you've already done the training when you submit it for Google Trainer. And you'll be able to say, change some of the words around, make it flow a little bit better, and then you can submit. So this idea is to help you be able to be ready to submit. So all you'll need to do is your video and your skills assessment. And then your application will be ready.
Absolutely.
I'm so envious of this right now.
Oh.
I wish I had any of this when I applied.
No.
Yeah. The next part of the application is engagement and differentiation. So what we want you to do while you're thinking about how you're going to plan this lesson is how are you going to engage the 5 to 10 people in your session? How are you going to engage them? And don't act like we know it all. It's okay to teach something basic. So you can just teach us how to maybe use dictation in Google Docs. You could teach us how to create a Google form. It does not have to be something that is super difficult.
It doesn't have to have all the bells and whistles. I mean, a very simple, basic presentation. Everybody walks away with something new. Doesn't matter how far up the skill set scale you are going to learn something. So, we always walk away with something, an aha moment. So don't feel you have to do the big bells and whistles. Do something that you're comfortable with.
And then the next question is, how are you going to differentiate this training?
Yeah.
How are you going to meet that low learner that hates technology, is scared of it, to the person that is an expert? How are you going to differentiate it for different subject level teachers that teach science compared to math? How is this going to be adaptable to both of those teachers, even though they're very different? So just kind of think about that. And again, you're going to fill out this form once you have all of these pieces kind of together so you can hit submit. And then you're going to provide links to your presentation. Yes, you have to have your presentation done. Yep. And you're going to present the link here. Okay. Again, you're going to get a copy of all of this with Autocrat in the document. Then you're going to link the feedback form. So that way your host could be me on that day. It could be Leslie. It could be Fred. So when you're in a breakout room, again, it's going to be that small group, and we're going to break up into multiple rooms depending on how many people do fill out this Google form that are willing to take the challenge and get some of their application done. And so that way, when we have these links, we can help you in by throwing them in the chat for you. And that's one less thing you have to worry about when you're presenting. And then once you're all finished, you're going to click the submit button. And so again, like I was talking about, if I can find the right tab, once you hit submit, you're going to get an email from Global, and you're going to get something that looks like this. Something that looks like this. Something that looks like this. Not
Are
yet.
you waiting for it to load? Is that what's happening?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
It's not going to be white. It's not going to be a white website like this. There we go.
Coming. Yay!
There we go. On here, all of the red is things that I filled out on the Google form. And
As
then
an applicant.
Yes. And then I can go up here and retype it for my application if I needed to. Feel free on the application to write like you already did the training, if that will help you. So that way you don't have to make as many edits, but you might kind of forget. So don't forget to do that. Once you get here, again, all of the answers are here. And then right here, my link is already linked right there. We'll be able to help you too by saying, hey, that link is not shareable when you are presenting, because you'll have people from outside of your district watching your presentation, and we'll be able to say that link doesn't work.
And what happens is if you apply with a fantastic application and your links don't work, you don't get a question back from Google saying your link doesn't work, can you please submit? So let this be your safety net, your first safety net for you to test out those links.
So again, Google form first. You must submit this before you come to the day to present. If we don't have your application, you're not going to be on the agenda to present. So super important. What's the due date for the Google form, Leslie? Because March 13th, we probably need, a couple days to prepare?
Yeah. So if you're presenting in US time, March 13th.
The 10th?
Yeah, I'd say about the 10th, the 9th or the 10th.
So we'll say on the 10th, you will have to have this form submitted. Okay. So March 10th submitted. On the next thing is you'll present that 10-minute session. You'll get feedback and you will finish on that case study. There's one question that you will finish. Let me see if I can find it again. Nope. There we go. On here, there's one question that you did not answer, and it's this last one. You must include links to your training material. Nope, that's not it. Here it is. After reviewing the feedback, so after you look at your feedback that you just got, how will you make improvements? So this will be the only question you have to answer if you do everything else correctly. And again, what would you have done differently? So you're going to look at the feedback from 4. Again, you have all of this done with us. And then you'll be able to provide how you're going to improve your training and what you would do differently. So you're going to write that reflection, and then you're done with this part of the application, and all you have is the test and the video. So hopefully this will take a huge weight off your shoulders, and you'll be in a comfortable setting to do so.
Yeah, this, again, when I applied, oh golly, a couple of years ago, this would have been super helpful because I didn't get it the first time because I didn't do all those steps. And the fact that this is being so streamlined for everybody, I think that's fantastic.
This will be so great. It really is. I agree with Fred. I applied in 2019 and I was ready to submit my application, and Chris Betcher from Australia, Google, he was going to run the very first workshop to train trainers, applicants, to submit their training application. I thought, oh, I'll go along. And I was so glad I did, because I may not have squeaked in. I really needed all of that day, that work. We tried things out. We presented in front of each other. This is going to replicate that awesome opportunity.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. I updated the slide with a due date. So that form is due on the 10th. You're going to present on the 13th. I should probably add that in too. Again, this is winging it. I hope you guys are enjoying the winging it, because I'm not.
Oh, you're doing great.
There's a question in there. Someone's internet is glitchy. I won't mention your name. But just follow the form, fill that form out. And it doesn't matter, like when you get into that community, we can help you in that little tiny community. This is not your final application. So you're in a safe place.
Yeah. And this is also recorded, this video, so you can rewatch as many times as you needed. And then you will share your Google form and provide feedback from your 10-minute session. So you will give feedback, and then you must stay the rest of the session. You can't just leave after you present, because other people need your feedback as well. So that is part of the giving and getting. So a little bit of both. Yeah.
So you can't do what I do at like dance recitals after your kid dances.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got to stay the whole way through.
Yeah, sorry about that. But we do need your feedback, because it is going to be a smaller section. So we have to make sure we have enough people for that feedback form.
Yep.
Okay? And you know the feedback's going to be probably better than just some teachers, because when I have teachers fill out feedback, 10% give me really good feedback. The others just check the boxes. And then if it's not required, they just don't leave me feedback, because they don't really care, I feel like. But we will care.
We care.
We care. So then you'll get feedback, and then you can work on your reflection, and that reflection is up to you. So your reflection could take a month if you wanted to wait that long. You could submit it that night and turn in your application. That is totally up to you on when you do your reflection. If you need a hard deadline, I will give you a hard deadline. Just let me know.
She's good at those. Yeah.
She does.
Do it.
Yeah. So again, once you fill out that form, an autocrat response will come out. So you'll have all of your answers, because Leslie and I are just helping, and Fred, we're just helping you guys organize your ideas. We're not going to look at, we're going to look at some of it to set you up in groups, but we're not going to judge you if you make a mistake right in there.
This is not ability grouping. We're just part of the journey, and we're dividing up the numbers.
And we're going to probably divide you up by product. So that way, different products. So that way Google Drive is in one, with a Google Slide, with a Google Docs. So you see multiple different presentations, and you get ideas from those people as well. And then the next group would be maybe Google Jamboard, Drawings, and Slides.
Slides, yeah.
and then another group. So that way you're not, if someone does the same presentation as you, it's okay. You won't see that because they're going to be in a different group.
Mhm.
Okay. And then just a recap, because we're almost done with our Wing It session.
Aw.
So you're going to fill out that Google form if you're interested in presenting in that small group setting to get feedback. You're going to prepare a 10-minute session, okay? 10-minute presentation on a Google product, not Edpuzzle, not Pear Deck, on Google. Well, I guess you could do Pear. I don't know if Pear Deck would work.
No,
No, it won't. Then you're going to prepare a feedback form. So that way, after you present, we can have you get feedback on a Google form, which will pull a Google Sheet. You're going to present on the March 13th, okay, at 8 p.m. Eastern. You're going to get feedback on March 13th, right after your session, like right after. Then you're going to write your case study. So your case study is pretty much already written because you already did it. The only question you have to answer is that last question. And then after you do that, you get to celebrate and you get to turn in your application once you get that video.
Indeed.
Yeah. I was not expecting that. So yeah, that is it. Again, the date is the 13th of March at 8 p.m. Eastern. I don't know what time that is for you guys.
7.
Okay. Central, Leslie?
noon-ish.
Noonish.
Next day in the future.
Okay. And then that's it. So any questions you guys have, drop them in the chat. If you are watching the recording, email myself, Leslie, or Fred, and we will happily send you more clarification if that's what you need.
Mhm.
Or if you have questions about your presentation, let us know. We're happy to help as well. So any questions you guys saw?
No, that people are really pleased with this opportunity.
Yes. Please fill out the Google form once your lesson is complete. That will help us group people based on what product they're doing.
Mhm.
So that way all Google Docs aren't in the same group. That way you're kind of seeing other products being listed, and it will just help us to have all of the forms in the right place. So that way your host can just grab your link and throw it in the chat for you. So you won't need to do that. It will already be done for you. So that will just help us in the back end. I know that's kind of a selfish reason. But yeah.
We're organizing it.
I think if you were to think of it like an administrative observation, right? Like you come up with or at least this is how I do things. I come up with what they're going to observe, and then I say it to them and then do it on the day, right? So if you decide now you're going to do docs, just decide you're going to do docs and then work your 10-minute thing around it. Like if that makes a certain amount of sense to everybody.
Yeah,
and also one
good.
other thing I want to make super clear, we have no control over if you get accepted to trainer or not.
Yeah.
So this is just a weird little, this is me, I believe they call it cover your rear type stuff. We can't approve you for trainer. We can give you ideas that yes, I would approve you, but we don't have that approval process. So if you don't get approved, don't blame us. We can direct you to who to yell at, but that it's not us.
It's not us. We're just here. We're your safety net. You can bounce ideas off us. We're really happy to help you in this new learning.
Yeah. And then also, once we do have your groups, we'll send you a Google Meet calendar invite for where you'll be. But that won't come out until after probably the 11th, right? Because we have to go through and then we'll send out calendar invites to who's in what group.
Oh, that's a good question.
You're going to present live.
Yep. You're going to be doing what we're doing right now, except you're going to be the one doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So
because this isn't your video, is it?
No.
Like this isn't the video application. This is giving you, experience to talk to a group virtually.
It's especially if you're the type like me, like my day job is beginning band, right? Like to do a training, this is how I generally have to do it or get hired out by another school district, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is also giving you an opportunity to do all the things that are required for the trainer application without having to try to talk to your admin and say, I want to do a training. We're your admin helping you set it up, except we're not because we're not admin. So
Yeah.
So that's great. Any other questions there? That's good.
And again, it's okay to fail. Just get out of your comfort zone and do it.
And do it.
Because it's going to be hard.
they're doing it right now, both of these two.
Yeah.
The fact that they
10 minutes ago, we were flicking back and forth with messages, and I said, do you want to get on a meet? And then suddenly it turned into a StreamYard, and we're here.
Yeah, that was the last thing I saw, Leslie. You had said, we're going to do a meet. I'm like, cool. And then, like, we're going live was the next thing you said.
Yeah, something like that.
We were looking at our schedules, and I was like, well, I don't want you to go to bed at 9 p.m. And then I was like, I don't want to wake up at
4 a.m.
So I was like, let's just go live now. We're both up. And tomorrow's her Monday, so she doesn't have like another weekend.
No.
Okay, I don't see any other questions. Did you guys?
I think we're good.
So real quick, another recap. Google form is due by the 10th. On the 11th, we will send a calendar invite with which group you're in with the meet link, so that way you know. How do we have the same? We'll get to that.
I didn't get time.
On the 13th, we will have a 10-minute session, or oh my gosh, I can't wing it. And then the thing messed me up.
You're doing good. You're doing great. Keep rolling. Keep rolling.
So then
all
on the 13th, you will present a 10-minute session of a Google tool. Yeah, it could be Google Earth. Totally fine. It just has to be Google related.
Keep it safe. Keep it Google.
Yeah. And then don't forget your feedback form, and you will get feedback so that way you can do your reflection, okay? The reason we have the same background is because Luis uploaded his background into StreamYard, and Fred found it, and then I go, oh, I want that. And he's like, I said, send it to me. And he said, I don't have to. It's already in StreamYard. And so that's how we have the same. So please take a picture of us and send it to Luis. We should do that actually, Fred.
Yeah, definitely.
So that way he can see the lovely house background. Okay. Yes, Google Earth is good. Where can I find emails? BM, are you on Twitter?
Yes, we've got our Twitter handles here. DM us on Twitter.
Yeah,
Yep.
email us on Twitter, or I'll add my if you guys want to add your emails, feel free.
Will do.
Let's see here. Oh man. I'm trying to think. There we go. You can email me here. Okay, so we're adding it on here. So DM is probably well, I don't know. Either way is fine.
Take a screenshot of just what you can see on the screen now, so you've got something.
And I put
there.
in the chat too if you need it.
I added mine.
Okay. Yeah. So feel free to email us. If you do have questions that do pop up or you need some more ideas, happy to help. I love preparing presentations. I'm like a nerd. So let me know.
Mhm.
Okay.
No, I'm not.
Any other
looks like
questions you guys see?
Okay, got it. I'm on Twitter. People are finding our Twitter handles, and there's our emails there. Right, you're set. You've got everything organised.
Okay.
You'll
And
scramble and catch up.
yeah, I'm going to send this slide deck again in the chat just so it's there if anybody needs it that came in late. Again, feel free to save it to your drive and fill out the form after you have everything organized.
Okay, that's it.
And then
Where can I find your? Yep, emails are there. Okay, grab that slide deck because the information, the process, the forms, everything is there. Fantastic. Well done, Stephanie.
All right.
Right?
I don't think I saw any other questions, right?
No, there are none.
That
All right,
looks
guys.
like it.
Thanks for joining this last minute session. Have a great night.
Thanks so much.